Hi everyone, I am Digvijay Gagnecha. I'm Chief Operating Officer at Leverage Edu. Leverage Edu is India's most trusted university admission service, and we've helped thousands of students get to their dream universities outside India. Today we have Mishi Sardana with us from Queen Mary University of London. We're going to talk anything and everything about Queen Mary University of London today, and any questions that you may have, we're going to answer all of them. Mishi, why don't we start with first probably you giving us and our viewers a quick introduction about yourself, and then we can dive in deeper.
Thank you, Digvijay. That was a great introduction. Welcome everyone. I'm the recruitment advisor for India for Queen Mary University of London. We have an India office for the last 8 years, and we look after South Asia. Queen Mary has a very long background, very old background. We have been there since 1785. We have been here for 130 years and more. And we have evolved over the years as per what the world required at that time, and imparting knowledge in the community and providing as much research opportunities for students all across the world. We are a Russell Group University. We are based in East London, which is 15 minutes away from Central London. And it also has very close proximity to Canary Wharf. So it's the best way to describe is it is best of both the worlds for students. And I wanted to mention that there is a huge range of courses available both at undergrad and postgrad. And this session, hopefully today, will help you understand more about Queen Mary. Yes, Digvijay, let's start.
Perfect. Thanks so much for that, Mishi. I think we have collected a good set of questions before on a survey from our students, and maybe we'll just get started with those, right? So the first set of questions that come our way are from students who want to know about how to get into Queen Mary University of London, right? How to crack through and get an admission there. So questions on admission criteria, essentially, first set of questions basically come from students like who want to understand whether they need to give English proficiency tests like IELTS, TOEFL, Duolingo, which of those are acceptable, and what is the kind of IELTS score requirement for the Queen Mary University of London?
As part of the academic requirement, we do have English language requirement for both undergrads and postgraduate. Mostly for postgraduate courses as well as undergraduate, we accept IELTS, TOEFL, as well as PTE. Now, the entry requirements would vary as per the course you choose, but in general, it is around 7 overall with 6.5 in writing. For some set of courses, we accept a 6.5 overall with 6 in writing as well. We don't accept Duolingo, but yes, we accept IELTS, TOEFL, as well as PTE. I think it's very flexible with regards to these 3 leading tests that are available. So students can give any of them, and the exact entry requirements are mentioned on our website as well.
Perfect. I think many of our students are also facing the issue, Mishi, that because English language test centers are closed at the moment, they want to know what are some other alternatives, right? How can they still apply for Queen Mary University of London? And if not, like, how should they go about it?
Yes, I understand that India is going through a tough time, and there has been lockdown in a lot of states, and the test centers are closed currently. So keeping this in mind, we will accept IELTS indicator as well as TOEFL IBT. They're both home-based tests that students can take at their home and submit their results. Also, in certain situations, and this depends on a case-by-case basis, because we can provide exemption to students on the basis of their knowledge of English. So we accept something that is called a medium of instruction letter that the student can obtain from their from the university where they've completed their bachelor's from. However, this has to be within the 5-year period, like they should have graduated within the 5-year period. And this is also subject to case-by-case basis. So at Leverage Edu, you have some extremely great coaches who understand the students. So they can guide them and they can connect with us to understand if the student will be eligible for a exemption by providing a medium of instruction letter.
Perfect. I think that is very, very helpful to know, Mishi. One of the viewers has a question around saying, they have received an admission in the academic year 2020-2021 from the Queen Mary University of London, and they've completed their first year in the distance mode. Now they wish to complete the last year of the education from the university. Can they still do that?
So yes, if the student is a full-time student at Queen Mary and started online due to the pandemic, due to the restrictions, or for various reasons, yes, they can apply for CAS and visa and travel to UK to complete the remaining part. In fact, as you may be aware, the graduate route is open to students, and they should arrive by a certain date in order to avail the graduate route as well, if they are studying full-time for a 1-year course or a 3-year undergrad course or so.
Perfect. I think that is very, very helpful. And how does it seem like now at the university? Can we expect the university to reopen its campus and hold physical classes for the upcoming September 21 intake?
So yes, I mean, UK did go through a tough time in the winters, but yes, things are better now. And as per the UK government guidelines, as of 17th of May, the campus is open. We are a campus-based university, so parts of our campus were always open, as we are connected to hospitals as well. And we were providing phased teaching where people could get information as per the course they were in. But yeah, after the lockdown, we have now opened the campus, and yes, we are waiting for further guidelines for government. And yes, it is in full swing really to have face-to-face.
Perfect. That's actually good news to know that students can have classes physically in person as well. So in fact, we've had too many Leverage Edu students who would join the January-February intakes, literally post a lot of pictures on Facebook and all, and saying finally they're in the class and studying in a classroom environment. So yeah, all fingers crossed, and hopefully we can have all classes reopen completely in the September intake. Also, while we are on the student experience bit, there are a few questions for students who are traveling to the UK for the first time. They want to know, how does it work? Do they get any sort of airport pickup services when they land at the airport to get to Queen Mary University of London? Also they want to know about the campus life, right? So if they want to study and live on campus, what does the life look like? How can they apply for on-campus accommodation? So would love to know from you on what a student can expect and not expect for the first time traveling to the UK and excited about studying at QMUL.
Definitely. So yes, student life is quite exciting at Queen Mary. We offer a lot of services, and starting with undergrad, we are the only university that provide a campus-based accommodation. We are the only university in London periphery as a Russell Group. So it's a self-sustained village in Mile End, where the undergrad first years have a guaranteed accommodation option where they can stay for the first year. We also have about 3 restaurants and a couple of coffee shops, and a canal by the side that separates us from Regent Parks, and a lot more. It's a lot of fun activities are organized on a very regular basis. We have a student union where we have about 150 plus societies and clubs for students. So whether your interest is in sports or in drama, or you like any sort of extracurricular, there's always a lot more to explore at Queen Mary. Yes, I think there's never a dull moment. There is a lot to do in central London as well, which is full of a lot of historical places as well. And if you're a fan of, watching theater, or if you want to just go pub hopping, then there's a lot more that the city offers in terms of history and other adventures as well.
Yeah, I think the biggest upside to Queen Mary is the best of both worlds, right? Having a campus life while still being there in one of the best cities in the world, and do everything, right? Having the comfort of being in a quiet, nice environment of a college campus, while still being able to do all those exciting activities that you spoke about. Seems very, very exciting. Feels like I would want to go back and study at QMUL if I could go back at that age. Thanks for that. So there are other questions sort of coming in, right? We have students excited to join Queen Mary University of London, but are concerned that because of COVID-19 restrictions, if they're not able to get to the university, right? What are their options and how will that affect their education?
That's a very valid question in the current circumstances. So as per the government guidelines and as per what we are working on at Queen Mary, we will provide a hybrid teaching. So we will give the option of starting with physical classes as well as learning online as well at the same time. And students can join us later as per what is allowed in their country, or if they are affected by COVID-19 or something. So yes, there would be flexibility and there is hybrid learning option at present.
All right. So students can enroll, they can get started, and whenever flights do open up, they would be able to travel. And I think with the latest news, what I understand is with the vaccination drive that we are going on, hopefully, likely students would be able to travel to the UK in the September intake itself.
Yes, definitely. I hope students can travel. The student visas are already being processed. So yes, we just will be following the government guidelines, keeping safety in mind for everyone.
And in fact, most of the state governments have also announced, saying students who have to travel for international education can in fact get their second dose of vaccine within 28 days. And immediately after 28 days, they don't have to wait for the 84-day period. So yes, students can get their second vaccine as well and travel to the UK. So yeah, seems like this scenario should not happen, but yes, to be prepared for the worst case scenario as well, students can start their education online and then go as and when the regulations allow for them to travel. Also, we do understand, Mishi, that there are, international students are now being required to quarantine when they land in the UK. And so one of the questions that came up is, is it possible for international students to quarantine at the campus rather than a UK registered hotel?
So it is one of the most commonly asked questions these days. However, we are waiting for government guidelines, that will throw some light on this area for Queen Mary to decide. So there are big discussions on this at the moment in the education sector. And hopefully there should be some news around it in the coming month or so. So we will be following government guidelines and advising students as per the same.
Perfect. That's very helpful. All right. So changing gears from student experience and going a little back into the admission part of it, a lot of students want to understand how much does it cost in terms of tuition fee and living expenses to be at the Queen Mary University of London. Broad ranges across different subjects would really help. And also alongside it, are there any scholarships that are being offered by the university to these students?
So yes, Queen Mary University does have a wide range of courses for both undergrad and postgrads, and all the vocational courses or the courses that are industry ready for like School of Business Management, Economics, Finance, and so on. The tuition fees is around 24 to 25,000 pounds. And the cost of living in London is around, I think, 12,000 pounds approximately. And there is, every year we do offer a range of scholarships to students across all the different subjects. So if I talk about School of Business and Management in particular, then we offer a scholarship of 4,000 pounds for undergrads for the first year. And for postgraduate students, we offer a scholarship of 3,000 pounds. And these scholarships, all our scholarships at Queen Mary are merit-based scholarships. There are no separate applications required for the same. If students are meeting the merit criteria, then the admissions committee, the scholarship committee will automatically get in touch with them.
All right.
Answers the question.
So when you say it's 3,000 pounds of scholarship, it's not for all students, and it'll be a merit-based scholarship which will be offered only to a certain set of students. Is that right?
Yes. Apart from that, there are, like I said, every school has scholarships. So School of Business Management, Economics, Finance, Electronics, Engineering, and Computer Science. But yes, for this particular scholarship, it is 3,000 pounds for postgraduate students, and it's a merit-based scholarship. It's competitive, so we offer it to students that meet the merit criteria.
Perfect, understood that. And Mishi, I think one more question that one of our students asked is, how says so how to apply for these scholarships? Are they automatically activated, or does the student need to submit another scholarship essay for it?
So for September 21, all the scholarships will be awarded on the merit-based criteria. And these will be awarded directly by the different schools at Queen Mary. There are no separate applications required. So if you meet the eligibility criteria and you qualify, we will definitely consider you for the scholarship.
Perfect. Sounds amazing. I think £3,000 and £4,000 are pretty hefty sort of discounts for students to really consider. It'll definitely ease the pressure on their pocket. So thank you for that. Also now trying to understand a bit on the placement bit, right? So that is a big elephant in the room whenever students come to us and they would be saying, what do I get? What is my ROI looking like, right? So could you throw some light on how do placements look like for especially Indian students studying at Queen Mary University of London, how they look like historically, and also probably going forward, what is the opportunity in the UK now?
Yes, very, very good question. We get this, we totally understand the students want to upskill to get the most out of their education, and they're looking for some sort of support. So at Queen Mary, in fact, our motto is, or the best way we describe is we follow EAST, as we are in East London. So EAST stands for explore your options, acquire your experience, S, show your skills and experience, and T, tell your story. So we have a dedicated career and enterprise team where we support the student stream in many ways, be it whether they want to acquire a role, or they want some, where they have an entrepreneurial streak and they're looking for some funding. We do a lot of activities with them. So the dedicated career and enterprise team is there for students to explore various features, like various features where we teach them how to work on their CVs, where we inform them about interview tips, and we conduct a lot of different workshops as well by industry experts and much more. We also organize career fairs on a very regular basis where the students can meet people from the industry as well. And yes, there are plenty of options for students to explore when they're looking support in their career journey at Queen Mary. So we have, like you know, we have been established for a long time, and our professors are very much deep into the system and very involved with students. So they definitely arrange a lot of workshops for professionals who are working in the city, and they provide their, you know, their information and expertise to students as well. So yeah, there's a lot more at Career Services. We have Q Consult. I can go on and on. So, but yeah, a lot of information is available, you know, once the student gets an offer from Queen Mary, and we keep doing webinars to support them as well.
Absolutely, sounds fantastic, and I can't even imagine the number of alumni that the Queen Mary University of London would have, and across the breadth, right? With being such an old institution, I'm sure Queen Mary University of London's alumni are all across the hierarchy in all companies, right? From the top management to middle management to lower management. So of course, if students were to, you know, hustle and figure out connects with alumni, that itself would be a very sort of you know, valuable thing to have, the Alum Connect for students. Yeah, sounds really fantastic. Mishi, we are getting few very specific questions now on our chat, and I thought we could probably take those and then go back to the larger themes. So we have Akshata asking us, when can we start to apply for the September 22 intake?
September 22.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, students are already excited about applying for the next intake.
Yeah, that's great. I totally understand. It's great to apply early, you know, so that you're well prepared and you have an offer, and you can focus on other things and take that time to enjoy or do other things as well. So for September 22, the postgraduate applications will open from 1st October.
Got it. So Akshata, you can keep researching about Queen Mary University of London in the meanwhile. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to Leverage Edu coaches, and we can definitely help you out to prepare well for the Queen Mary University of London and apply once applications open in October. I think Akshata has one more question. Do you waive off IELTS? I think Mishi, you've answered it to a certain degree before. Maybe you can probably give that same answer again in short.
Sure. So Akshata, if we do provide waivers for English, but it depends on a case-by-case basis. So once you have an offer from Queen Mary University, you can contact with Leverage Edu or ourselves, where we can guide you and update you about the medium of instruction and so on.
Got it. Great. We have Alan Prince asking us, is the 60% condition on the conditional offer letter for LLM strict? Will I be able to get through if I just fall below 60%?
Oh, what a question. It's a tricky one. I would say, yes, we are strict on our eligibility criteria. We are quite strict on that, to be honest. But if you have applied and we understand the circumstances are a little difficult at this stage, I would suggest that you best connect with our South Asia team so we can have a personal discussion on this. Our email is south-asia@qmul.ac.uk. If you've applied through Leverage Edu, then one of the counselors will put us in touch and we can definitely have a discussion. But yes, more or less, yes, we are strict. Please try to push that extra bit of score there. Do a little bit hard work.
Great. Thank you so much. We have Manasa asking us, what's the procedure to apply to Queen Mary University of London?
Great question. It's a very straightforward application process. Leverage Edu can guide you through the same. If you decide to apply directly, then you have to apply, you pick up the course, you shortlist the course. I highly recommend that you look at the entry requirements as well as the course content. We have mentioned small synopses of the modules that would be there in the course. So please read that out so you can decide if you're confused between two courses, you can decide which one's best for you. Once you decide to apply, you have to provide us certain supporting documents, which would be your mark sheets, your degree certificate, CV, statement of purpose, 2 letters of reference, and IELTS as well. So to start with, you can submit, if you are a current student, then you can submit everything apart from your provisional degree certificate and the final transcript, and just send your application through, and we will process this in the meanwhile.
So Manasa, in case you need any help, just dial 1-800-572-000, connect with one of our counselors, and we'll make sure that your application gets submitted within 24 hours to the Queen Mary University of London.
Great.
All right, perfect. We have Manu again sort of asking a question related to an IELTS waiver. He says he has 75% plus in his class 12. Can you tell me if I will get an IELTS waiver in the Queen Mary University of London?
There are a lot of factors that we'll have to look in. So I would recommend that you contact our South Asia team. You should have completed your CBSE in the last 5 years. And it should be, the English score should be, 80% or so. So yeah, please give us a buzz and we will discuss this further.
We have a very interesting question come now. It says, could you brief us about the part-time jobs that are popular at the Queen Mary campus?
Very good question. See, as a student, you can work 20 hours, dear. And so you can work in the campus or outside of the campus. So if I talk about student jobs inside the campus, then you can work as a student ambassador, you can work in the library or the tuck shop or coffee shop and so on. If you decide to explore outside the campus, then we are very close to a busy area called Stratford, which is only 20 minutes away. Stratford also holds the second largest mall, which is the Westfield Mall, and students can hence work in the mall as well. I have often noticed students work in the mall during Christmas time or during summertime, at the retail outlets. Also, some students, try to get part-time roles when it's summertime in London, because there are a lot of tourists that come up and there are a lot of activities in central London. So yeah, people do work in central London as well with certain events or, some one-off gigs that are available to students. Yeah, so there are a lot of opportunities to explore for them.
Yeah, I can imagine with being in the heart of London, The opportunities would be immense. On opportunities, Sonal Rajput has a question. Are there any internship opportunities?
Like I said, there's a dedicated career and enterprise team. Whether you decide to do a part-time role or you look for a internship, we will definitely support you. All the opportunities, or in fact, most of the opportunities are put down on the student portal, and you can apply for them the way you would apply for any other role. So yes, there's a mix of a lot of things.
All right. Hope that answers your question, Sonal. Sonal also has another question. What are some of the popular clubs, societies, or activities?
So we have an Indian society and we do a lot of events. We do Bollywood nights, we do Garba nights, we celebrate Eid, we do a lot of different events. The student community is very diverse at Queen Mary. We have about 162 nationalities. So a few more societies that are popular that can come to my mind are the Drama Society. We have the Physics Society and School of Business and Management. We also have two societies that come on top of my head are the enterprise team as well, where and there is investment fund as well. So there's a lot more. What I would recommend is that you follow us on socials. All our societies have their own page as well. So you'll get to know a lot more activities that we do. So Queen Mary has a social media page on all the 3 major platforms, and even the societies have their own page. So if you have an interest, then you can start following them. And another fun fact is that if there's a society that is not there, so if you have an interest that is very unique to you, and you can get 5 more people of the similar interest, then you can start your own society. So there you go. If you are inspired, then definitely once you're a student, start your own society.
Perfect. Opportunity for all students to sharpen their own leadership skills as well. Perfect. I think we have a question on what's the fees for any PG program, basically electrical and electronics. I think we've answered this question to a certain degree. Maybe if you want to take this or redirect to the website, your call.
Yes, it is available on the website, the exact amount, but it ranges from 24,000 pounds to 25,000 pounds. We have a wide range of specialities. If I talk about engineering and computer science, we have anything from like all the popular topics or whatever the demands are in the industry, from big data to AI to Internet of Things, robotics, aerospace, the list goes on. So we are very much, we totally understand the industry trends, and hence we try to provide you with that knowledge. But yes, it ranges from 24,000 to 25,000. Please check for the exact amount. It's available on the website.
Great, thanks for that, Mishi. The next question is around backlogs. So someone has had 2 backlogs in their UG program, which they've cleared now, and they want to understand, will it affect their chances of admission at Queen Mary?
Yes, so this is, I understand that sometimes situations are tough in certain subjects. There's different circumstances on the day of the exam. But in terms of backlogs, we will look at this on an individual basis. So we can look, if you have a backlog, that's okay, but not a lot, I would say. And I would also say that we will be looking at your semester-wise marks for all the different subjects that you studied. And it's important that you should have cleared these backlogs in the first attempt itself. But the decision is on a case-by-case basis. And this is decided by the academic selector at the admissions team in Queen Mary. So yes, you can apply and we can have a look at it.
Perfect. We have Kitali asking us, when can I expect a final decision on my application? So yeah, probably if you can let us know what is the timeline from the date of application to when students can expect offers or decisions.
So we should be able to respond to you within 4 weeks or at the latest in 6 weeks time. So yes, I would say we try to answer or offer students within the 4-week period.
All right. And a follow-up question is, when does the admission for the September 21 intake close? So what is the deadline across most of the programs to apply?
So it's usually in August, Digvijay, but I highly recommend that students apply early on. We are already in June, and considering we take 4 weeks to give a response, etc., I would encourage that this is the right time to apply to Queen Mary. It gives them enough time to prepare for their visas and enough time to arrange funding, etc. So yes, ideally this, or at the latest by mid-July, I would say. But yeah, otherwise the applications are open until August. At this point, I also want to mention that Queen Mary is very popular among students, and some of the courses, the deadlines close very early on. So please don't wait till last minute, and don't lose the opportunity of studying in this particular year.
Got it. That was very, very helpful. And Mishi, could you also sort of, for the benefit of our viewers, throw some light on how does timelines look for? So we have a bunch of questions come in on visa. So, you know, our students want to know when they apply and get an offer, by when that can they expect a CAS letter? How much time does it take for the visa to come through? And by when, do they fly out to the Queen Mary University of London?
So the students who are coming in for September 21 intake, we have already started issuing CAS. So once your offer is unconditional and postgraduate students have paid a deposit, they can apply for their CAS. It takes about 5 to 7 working days to get an updated CAS. And after they have their CAS, they can apply for visa. I would recommend to apply sooner than later for visas, as in the given circumstances, there are relaxed services across different states. So I would encourage the students apply for visas by July or so, if they have everything else sorted, if they have their CAS sorted and the funding is ready, or yeah, even August is fine. Yeah.
And the follow-up question says, how soon can I fly to the UK, to London, prior to the commencement of the course?
Yes, so for September 21, our enrollment week starts on September 20th. So it depends on your accommodation contract. I think you can fly by, I think a good time to fly, keeping September 20 in mind, and everything goes well, I think would be around 8th or 10th of September, really. So really, when your contract starts for accommodation, you should be able to go.
All right. And as soon as asked, is it possible to change my study program before the commencement of classes at Queen Mary University of London?
See, this becomes slightly complicated. We don't encourage students to change their course. Hence, we provide a lot of counseling sessions through Leverage Edu platform, and students can approach us independently as well. So yes, I would highly encourage that you check out the course content, you talk to the coaches, you talk to us, and decide on your decision on the course. We do not recommend change courses once your CAS is issued or once you get to UK. In special circumstances, it would only depend if there is availability on the for the course, but it is very rare, I would say.
Got it. That is great. That is very, very helpful. Harnoor is asking, how much does the extracurricular section matter in students' application? Or is it that more weightage is given on academic requirements, right? Because she feels that she's not that great in academics. So yeah, so she's good at academics, but she's not good at extracurricular. So wants to understand how much of a weightage is given in extracurriculars.
So we don't worry, dear. We look at the overall profile. We would be looking at academics. That is one of our topmost priority, that you meet the eligibility criteria. And as an overall process, as an overall eligibility process, we look at your statement of purpose and the recommendations by your academics or professionals, and your achievements as well in your CV. But yes, we would give more weightage to your academics at Queen Mary. That's our first point of criteria for selecting.
That's good news for you, Harnoor. We have Akriti who's asking us, what is the ideal time to apply for visa? I think Mishi just answered that, Akriti. So the CAS letters are already on their way. So if you've paid a deposit, got an offer at Queen Mary, paid a deposit, within 5 days, you'd get your cash and you can apply as early as possible. So yeah, that's the recommendation. Just apply as early as possible. Kitali again asking, what are the COVID-19 requirements that I need to fulfill before joining the campus?
I would say safety first. If you can get your hands on vaccine, then please get the jab. It's always good before you fly. And yes, I think as part of the visa requirement, you have to undertake a certain tests, which are TB tests and so on. So make sure you take the tests on time and from the designated or the assigned healthcare bodies that are assigned under the visa guidelines. Really, so that's what I would say. Students pay IHS fees, so they are covered under NHS. And that should be that covers, and that's what NHS and government of UK has mentioned, that it should be okay. You are covered under NHS. So yeah, that's really it.
All right. NHS is the National Health Service, for the viewers who don't know about this. So we have one student asking us what resources are available on campus if I need help with some of my classes I'm taking.
That's a great question. See, we are very proud of the support that we provide to students. So we are very accessible. It's a knock on the door. Our professors are very, very friendly. All the courses have a dedicated academic advisor. So if a student is struggling with something, either emotionally or academically, we have advice and counseling at Queen Mary as well, where they can take various support options that are there for students. And yes, you can approach your academic leads or your professors if you require further help in any of your subjects as well. They are very, very friendly, and we are very proud of that we want to provide as much support possible and as much access possible to our students who come to Queen Mary.
Got it. We have another question coming on the accommodation bit, saying I want to study at QMUL and live on campus. How can I apply for on-campus accommodation?
Yes, like I said, we have an award-winning self-sustained campus. It's a beautiful campus. It has lots of greenery. We have a lot of period buildings, and we've also invested highly in the infrastructure. So you see a combination of old and the grade 2 listed buildings as well at Queen Mary, and a lot of greenery and some quiet space as well. So it's fun to live in the campus. We provide campus accommodation to undergraduate students for first year only, and they have to apply once they accept our offer, as a conditional offer holder or an unconditional offer holder. Once they accept us, they would be sent an email on accommodation. So for postgraduate as well, we have a Queen Mary network of accommodations available. This is 20 minutes away from the Mile End campus. We also have 5 other campuses, which we didn't get to pick up on earlier. So our main campus is the Mile End campus, where we have all the undergrad classes, most of the undergrad classes. And we have a good chunk of postgraduate classes also taking place at Mile End. And we have accommodation available 20 minutes away from Mile End. They are in Aspire Point or Sharon House, etc. Student can apply through the accommodation once they accept our offer. And students are given an option to pick up to 5 kind of room choices. And we award this on a first come, first serve basis. So I'm probably going to get into my other question, my other aspect of other campuses that are there as well. So the other campuses at Queen Mary, one which is for LLM called Lincoln's Inn Field, which is in Holborn itself. Students tend to stay at Aspire Point. And other than that, we have the School of Medicine and Dentistry campuses, which are attached to the Royal London Hospital and Baths and the London Hospital. We have specific accommodation for School of Medicine and Dentistry also near to these 2 campuses as well. So going back on your question, Digvijay, students get an email and or on MySIS on the student portal, and they can apply for accommodation as early as in March.
All right. All right. That's exciting. I like the idea of so many campuses all around each other. You get a chance to be all around London, I guess. Okay, I think Manasa asking how many students actually enroll in a year at QMUL.
So overall, we have about 27 or 28,000 students, and
Wow.
we get about 500 plus Indian students in general. So there are 162 nationalities studying at Queen Mary. So it's a by the time you finish your course, you will have one friend from every country in the continent across, and you know you have a very big network, and you get to learn so much about different cultures as well.
That's fantastic. 162 nationalities and 28,000 students on campus. So it's definitely crazy. I'm sure anyone who goes there will make friendships for life all across the globe, right? So you students or viewers won't basically, who study at QMUL won't probably need to book an Airbnb wherever they go travel in the world. Probably have a friend everywhere.
Spot on.
That's fantastic. Samreen has a question around, I'm a science student looking to pursue my postgraduate studies in management. Are there any courses at QMUL that I could opt for? And what can I do to make this shift in stream earlier?
Great question. Now, if you are a science student, you can do a bunch of a bunch of courses. We have about 19 specializations at postgraduate in School of Business and Management. They are all one-year MScs. So ranging from MSc Management to MSc International Business or Entrepreneurship, and even MSc Business Analytics or HR and Accounting and Finance and so on. There's a lot more to do. Detailed descriptions are available on website in terms of course content. But yeah, going back to your question, as a science student, we offer an MSc Management, which will essentially help you with getting into the management stream or getting a bit better understanding of how businesses work across different sectors. I would recommend, if you're going for a specialized course, try to upskill yourself, try to read on it, try to get more knowledge on it. But yeah, MSc Management is open to students like yourself, along with MSc Business Analytics or International Business as well. So yes, we will definitely welcome you, provided you meet the eligibility criteria.
That's perfect. I think we're now coming to an end of the session. We've covered all of our students' questions as well. So thank you so much, Mishi, for taking the time out today. For the viewers, you can always view a recorded session on leverageedu.com. Just log on to leverageedu.com and click on the Leverage TV icon, and you would have a recorded session here at the Leverage TV link itself, right? You can also join our Telegram community, wherein we keep sharing all our prior recorded sessions on a regular basis and any new upcoming Leverage TV webinars as well. And we also share about 10 to 12 different new blogs that are answering frequently answered questions of our students. So do sign up on the Leverage Edu community as well.
It was a great session. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really hope the students got all the questions answered. And if you guys need further help, you can reach out to Leverage Edu as well as Queen Mary in South Asia as well. And thank you for hosting us, Digvijay. It was lovely. Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for your time, Mishi. Folks, any viewers, any questions that you may have otherwise about enrolling at the Queen Mary University of London, you can just log on to leverageedu.com and leave your contacts there, and we will call you back. Or you can also call us on 1-800-572-000, and we will immediately assist you with any queries that you have. Thank you so much. It was lovely having you here. Look forward to seeing you all again in the next session at Leverage TV every day at 6 p.m. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.